Hello and a warm welcome to this video where we will show you the most important sources you need to cite in your bachelor's or master thesis. Like many students, you might have the following notion in your head. I have to cite many different types of sources in my thesis to demonstrate to my supervisor that I've conducted a comprehensive literature research. The assumption that citing a wide variety of sources, ranging from newspaper articles, video clips, websites, and images, makes your bachelor or master thesis more credible or better research is not correct. Especially in the age of fake news and ChatGPT, it's very important for you to remember that not all sources are treated and used equally in academia. In fact, in academia, only one single type of source is practically used and accepted, which has a huge advantage for you. You don't have to study dozens of citation rules and look them up, but actually only need to learn how to cite a single type of source. So the question naturally arises, what type of source should you primarily cite in your thesis? The short answer is, only cite publications from peer-reviewed journals. Citing publications that have been published in journals and that have undergone a peer review process is considered the gold standard in all scientific disciplines. Note that when a publication has been peer-reviewed, it just means that 2 to 3 suitable professors from the same field have critically reviewed the study before publication. The peer review process is therefore here to make sure that only high-quality work is being published. This is precisely why in practice only journal publications are cited in academia. Because with all other sources, including newspapers, there is no such a strict quality control. So when it comes to your bachelor or master thesis, prioritize citing journal publications. Your supervisor will appreciate it. By the way, if you are studying business and are not sure which publications and journals are particularly suitable, we recommend the journal ranking of the Association of Business Professors. The ranking lists all journals that are particularly relevant in the field of business, from business administration to economics to business informatics. All peer-reviewed publications from these professional journals are cited exactly the same way in the text or according to the APA standard, with the author, year, and optionally page number depending on whether it's an indirect or direct quote. In other words, you only need to remember these 3 things: author, year, page number. And in the reference list, all publications are cited in exactly the same way too. As shown in the example on this slide, the author always comes first, followed by the publication year, the title of the publication, the title of the journal, the volume and issue of the journal edition in which the article was published, and finally the page numbers. Done. That's all. That's basically all you need to know. But let's quickly focus on 2 very important additional tips for citing. First, yes, we strongly recommend primarily citing peer-reviewed journal articles. However, that does not mean you should only read peer-reviewed journal articles. Especially if you are at the beginning of your thesis and want to get an overview of your topic, it would be fatal because journal publications are usually too detailed and specialized on a very specific aspect within a narrow topic. So it's a much more effective strategy to start your research with more general resources like Wikipedia, Google, YouTube, ChatGPT, or even websites from boulevard newspapers. However, if you find information or arguments in one of these sources, then do not cite them under no circumstances. Instead, when you reach this point, it's time to open Google Scholar and read journal publications to see if you can find the same or a similar argument in a peer-reviewed journal. If you do, then cite the journal, not the trashy website. If you should not find a similar argument in a journal publication, then the argument was probably more of an opinion than a fact. Because from our experience, we can definitely confirm to you there are so many publications that you can almost always find a suitable source. The second point that you need to remember, we suggest that you let go of the idea that you should avoid using direct quotes in your bachelor or master thesis because it might diminish your own work or make it look less important. Our experience shows the opposite. Direct quotes are an excellent way to integrate your thesis into the bigger academic conversation, strengthen the argument you want to make, and signal to your supervisor that you have indeed read the literature and engaged with it intensively. Take a look at the example on this slide. The direct quote not only supports the argument perfectly, but also leaves no doubt that inflation negatively affects economic growth. In summary, you need to remember three things. First, primarily cite journal publications because they are the only truly recognized source in academia. Second, do not only read journal publications, but also sources like Wikipedia or newspaper articles, especially in the beginning of your thesis journey. Third, direct quotes are a very effective and an excellent way to signal to your supervisor that you have read the literature and engaged with it intensively.